Warning signs flashing on Nvidia, CPI and news this week coming out, and SPY is already gapping down. It's going to be a very interesting week this week. Let's dive into these markets. What's up, everyone? My name is Tony with Real Life Trading. I am a full-time trader, and every week I make a video to show you the levels that I'm watching so that you can be better prepared to help you to make money this week in the market. So let's start with SPY. SPY is actually currently putting in an island reversal. So we have an open gap here, and we are having another gap right here. So these two open gaps, potentially, we're going to see how today's candle fills out, see if this actually is an island reversal. Because if we come back down and fill it, then it's no longer an island reversal. But if we just leave it in the dust, then yeah, that's a very bearish signal, but we'll dive into a little bit more of that here in just a second. We've also got some very strong buying areas down through here that I'll be watching for. So at the moment, yes, we are gapping down, but we've made a very large move lower recently, and this large gap down is starting to scare everybody, right? A lot of emotions are coming in. It's so important for you to put emotions behind these candles. These are not just candles. These are made up of human beings. These are made up of transactions, and humans are predictable if you can get them to feel the same feelings. By the way, we have tons of free trading courses over at reallifetrading.com. Head on over to there. But it's so important for you to put yourself into the shoes of others. How are they feeling? If someone bought up through here, how are they feeling right now in this gap? They're feeling extremely worried. Most likely they're going to start exiting. A lot of people are going to start shorting this. They're going to think that, oh my gosh, this is the end of the stock market itself. So a lot of people are going to start loading into puts through here. Well, if we use our knowledge of price action and a combination of option levels, we can have a better idea of what these markets are trying to do. We know that there are huge put levels sitting here at 575, 580, and 570. So these are going to be very important levels to potentially see some reversals. Not just that, but I've had this bouncing area marked on my chart here on SPY for a very long time. This bouncing area starts around 572 and it runs down to around 565. I think 565 is going to be a very, very key level this week, and I do believe we will get there this week with high probability. Again, it can do whatever the heck it wants to do, but this area is a very, very important area for sure. It's also the weekly expected move. So the options are saying the range for this week brings us down into 565. So by Friday, we should be looking at this level if the bears start to take over. Another thing building the bear case is this head and shoulder pattern. So right here, we have a left shoulder, we have a head right here, and we have a right shoulder right here. So this pattern is extremely bearish, and we are starting to gap the neckline. Really, this area had to hold. I mean, look how strong we've been bouncing here for the past month or so. We've come back into this on Friday, and now we're gapping down. That is extremely weak. So even if the bulls do decide to run back up through here, I would say 580 all the way up to 590, the bears are probably going to try to start stepping in and pushing this thing back down. So ideally, what I would like to see for this week are the bears close strong to confirm, yes, we have broken this neckline of the head and shoulder pattern and given me more insight on that, yes, the bears are in control. If we can get that strong close down through here, we're going to work our way into the bouncing area. From there, we're going to get a short-term bounce, and then it's going to be time to start buying some puts, in my opinion, and looking to short this thing because we've got a lot lower to go. The expected move of this head and shoulder pattern brings us into 558. So we could just be hitting that right away without any bounce. Again, I think that'd be a little extreme to get past the 565 level, but hey, it is possible, and this is extremely weak. For the bull scenario on SPY is just on this weekly chart, right? We're pulling back into this amazing support level here on a weekly chart. 570 area to 565. I've had this level here for a while to bounce. The bulls could be stepping in extremely hard here at 565, and if they do, I would expect the bears to still come in, but then to get taken out, us break some of these downward trend lines, and then make our way all the way back up to 610, maybe even higher here if this party wants to continue. So on the larger time frames, this is a really good buying spot. I mean, they'll buy the dippers have been out in force, and they would start right down through here. It makes a ton of. All right, so jumping on over here to the Qs now. The Qs have a very strong bullish support coming in around 500 with a huge amount of puts stacked here at 500 as well. So this is going to be the important level here for the Qs. Put some alerts around 500 and then sit back and watch price action. Zoom in on an hourly See if you can't get any hammers coming in on an hourly, something showing strong buying sentiment. This would make a lot of sense for the bulls to start stepping back in around 500, which is basically where we're gapping down to. We're currently gapping into around 502. This is pre-market here before markets open. So expect the bulls to really want to hold 500. If they close below 500, that is telling us quite a bit. Again, when something should happen that doesn't, we're getting really good clues of who is starting to take control. And if that happens, I would say these bears are starting to take control. Does that mean that you short it down here? No, not in my opinion. I would be waiting for a strong close down and then some retests and work your way back up into around 507 to 510 level would be a fantastic short spot. So for the bears, strong close down, retest back up into this box. This is where I'd want to short it, and we're going to have quite a bit of a move lower. For the bulls scenario, it'd be a move back through here. The bulls start to step in, bounce back through, and then again start to curl bullish out of this bear zone, close strong, and start squeezing out all the bears that loaded in down here because they were just too excited. Time will tell which one happens, but we're sitting on really strong trend lines on a weekly chart. The 20 EMA is sitting right around 501 as well. There's just a lot of reasons for this to bounce through here. So let's just see if these bulls want to come to play and bring us back up into the 540 all-time high level. If not, something's up and down we go. Who knows how low this thing could go, but I would say over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're probably looking at 480 all the way down to 450 or so on the key. All right, so let's take a look at Nvidia. This thing is flashing warning signals left and right. And in order to really get an idea of why I'm looking at this warning signal right here, let's go back and work through the sentiment that's happened here recently on Nvidia. So let's back trade this guy here. So just a little bit ago, we had a very strong head and shoulder pattern here. So left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, which means this level right here needs to hold. It's the same thing that SPY is going through right now. So if we were to fast forward this here on a daily chart, you'll see that we actually strongly broke that neckline. So what does that mean? A whole lot of bears started to get in here. I mean, load in, buying puts, shorting shares. And where are their stops at? You had people putting in stops all the way through here. You had these super, super aggressive traders putting in stops here. You had people putting in stops here. You had great traders putting in stops up here above 148, and you had very conservative traders going, there's no way we make a new all-time high, and putting their stops just above that new all-time high. Whenever the bears have to exit the trade, they have to buy it to get out, which causes the stock to run. So we know that bears loaded into here. Well, if we fast forward this, you'll notice that all of a sudden, these bears start to get stopped out, and this thing is going to start to buy, and it's going to start to run extremely hard. Why? Because all these bears here are now having to exit their positions and get out. So it starts to run, and all these bears start getting out, and then boom, exit, 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 exit. You have your conservative bears, the ones right up here that put in their stop at all-time highs going, there's no way we get there. And then it gaps up, hits their all-time high, stops out the final bear. So finally, most of the bears are done, right? Everyone that got in down through here, they're pretty much cleaned out. Even the people that had the most conservative stops and risk targets up there going, there's a chance this thing's going to run, and so I'm not going to play that game. I'm going to have my stop up above the all-time high. Boom, they just got triggered that morning, and they all got out. Well, then what happened? It all fell apart. The bulls had their chance to now step in and go, all right, cool. Bears clearly shown that they were in control. Now it's time for the bulls to step in, and they should have been buying all through here. This was a fantastic buy spot, and no one came to the party. I mean, we opened all the high and completely fell apart without any buyer stepping in at the close to finish this thing out. That's your warning sign number one, right there. This candle tells you a lot. It was stopping at all the bears. The algorithms were grabbing their short shares. Now we're going to see if these bulls come to play through here. That's what should happen. So we fast forward another day. Okay, we're starting to get some lower wicks. And then today's gap down just happened. Remember, bulls should have been all over this, and they failed. That's why I'm saying this is all an early warning system here to tell you, hey, don't buy this dip. Stay away from it for right now, at least until the bulls start to take ground up here. Then we can grab back in and see if this will go higher. But in this range, when the bulls are not showing up where they should, it's giving you an early clue based on the sentiment, based on all of this through here of what's going on and who's in control. In my opinion, the bears are gaining in control. They stopped out all the previous bears. The algorithms got all their shares. The big money got all their shorts. Now it can go lower. And so we're going to see if this actually plays out and follows through. But man, it's not looking great. At 127 right here is my turning point level. If we start getting weekly candle closures below 127, Nvidia is going to start seeing a lot stronger bear moves. And on rips that bounce back up, bears are going to come in every single time and push this thing lower because we have got a lot lower to go on Nvidia. Stocks don't just go straight up. They always pull back down. It's just a matter of time. Will this be the time it actually pulls back? I have no idea. I don't know. But I do know that a pullback is coming. If we just look at this stretch here, this thing went higher for years and everyone's like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. And then what happened? A pullback, right? Over here, strong bull move. What happened? A pullback. Strong bull move. What happened? A pullback. Extremely strong bull move. What is going to happen eventually? Pullback. And so everyone up here that's chasing, that's going, it's leaving without me. It's like, my friends, this was the time to get in to make money on this move, not up here. Could you grab for the crumbs up here and get lucky? Yes. But what the smart traders are doing is they're taking profits in here. They're locking in their wins and they're getting ready for their next buy the dip opportunities to really get rich and change your life on Nvidia. Down here is where you're going to do it, not up here. And the cracks are starting to form, my friends. And so I'll be watching this very, very closely. I'm not going to be shorting this at this moment because it's still not out of the woods yet. But weekly candle closures, I'm going to give us another 7 days. Below 128, start shorting this on rips is what I'd be looking at. So that's it for this week, my friends. Stay calm. Do not chase. Be okay not making money today or tomorrow. Let the price action show you what it wants to do. And if you can start planning ahead, being aware of the important levels that are in front of you and what to do at those levels, you will be so much more successful and profitable as a trader because instead of reacting, you are simply following your plan. You know what you're going to do when it gets up into here, and you know what you're going to do when it gets down to here. And then just execute that plan, control your risk, and you will be so much more profitable. Love you guys. Have a great week in trading.